lost in my doubts, tangled in stories I can't live without. But there's a fire, it's burning inside, calling me forward, I can't run and hide. It's not about perfection, it's about the climb, breaking through the limits, one step at a time. With every breath, I'm closer to the dream, a life that's bold, a heart that gleams. Be great, stand tall, rise above it all. Let your light shine through, answer the call. There's power in you, don't hesitate. This is your moment, go on, be great. The mirror's reflection, it shows who I am, but it's just the beginning, not the end of the plan. Through trials and heartache, I've learned how to fight, to shape my tomorrow. I start with tonight. It's not about the shadows, it's about the flame, fueling the courage to rewrite the game. Every step forward, I leave fear behind. Greatness is waiting, it's yours and it's mine. Be great, stand tall, rise above it all. Let your light shine through, answer the call. There's power in you, don't hesitate. This is your moment, go on, be great. Through the storms and the pain, I'm finding my way again. With purpose, with heart, I'll never fall apart. It's the journey, not just the end, a story that begins again. I'll build it, I'll create a life that resonates. Be great, be great, stand tall, rise above it all. Let your light shine through, answer the call. There's power in you, don't hesitate. This is your moment, go on, be great. This is your story, it's time to ignite a life of intention, a future so bright. The world is waiting, don't let it wait. Step into your greatness, it's time, be great.
Hey guys, sorry about that. I had some minor technical difficulties right at the end of the music there. So thank you for your patience. I appreciate it, Kitty Cat. Thank you for the raid. So sorry about that. Of course, my music died right when you raided in. Welcome in though. Hello, everybody, and welcome in. It's good to see you. Hey, Brishkar, what's going on, my dude? Head of Steel, I saw you. Luke, I saw you as well. And Patch, of course. Welcome in, guys. How are you? Welcome to the Thursday stream. Let's get right to it, shall we? Let's get right to it. Here's the thing. What I wanted to tell you today, and I hope you're all doing well. Kitty Cat, I hope your stream went really, really well. Thank you for raiding in. I appreciate you. So excited for your stream today. I'm excited to have you here because I want to talk about something that's a big deal. By the way, if you're new to the stream for whatever reason, we do have a Q&A section at the end of the stream. So if you have questions, there's a link that's pinned in the chat. Throw that up. Throw up your questions, and I want to hear what you have to say. It was yes, excellent. So good. Let's see. So here's what it is, guys. Here's what it is. You don't need more advice. There you go. In a stream that's all about giving you advice, I'm going to start by telling you, you don't need more advice. You don't. What you need is not more advice. It's a better filter. Okay? And that is what we're going to talk about today, because most people aren't stuck because they don't know what to do. And if you're honest with yourself, you're probably not stuck because you don't know what to do. People are stuck because they've consumed so many strategies that they don't know who to believe anymore. So today in this stream, what I thought we would do is help you cut through the noise a little bit and actually move forward with some kind of clarity, right? Because that's what we're always looking for. So again, if you're new to the stream, welcome in. My name is Andrew Burkum. I am the founder and CEO of the Idea Training Academy, and I work with leaders, I work with creators, content creators, I work with just everyday people who feel stuck. And what I do is I help them break through the confusion that we all interface with, and I help them build momentum. And I use a practical framework that I call IDEA. It's right there on the sign back there. And IDEA stands for identity, disciplines, execution, and accountability. Okay? And today we're going to talk about something that is stealing away your clarity, and it's stealing away your energy. And quite honestly, it is keeping you from moving forward. It's keeping you from being where you want to be. It's keeping you from being the person that you need to be. We've all heard the saying, right? The saying goes, knowledge is power, right? It's, if you want to do the Latin, ipsa scientia potentis est, right? Knowledge is power. But the problem is, we're living in an age where knowledge is everywhere. And because knowledge is all around you, you are getting your power lost in the noise. Because we've got what? We listen to podcasts. How many podcasts do you listen to? I listen to 1 million. We have podcasts. We have reels, right? Or TikToks. We have books that we read. I've got a whole bookshelf full of them back there. We've got YouTube gurus, right? We have TED Talks coming out of our ears. We have all these things. But we still feel stuck. But I want to just your podcast. Well, I'm glad you listen to my podcast at least. That's good to hear. Here's the thing, guys. You don't need more advice. You need a better filter for your advice. And so today we're talking about drowning in advice while you're stuck, even with all the right tips. And I want to walk you through a better way to move forward than just kind of going it a piece at a time. And we're going to use my IDEA framework. We're going to talk about how your identity, your disciplines, your execution, and your accountability all work together to filter out the noise and help you take real action again. And by the way, this is going to apply no matter what area of life you're in. If you're a streamer, this is going to help you with your streaming career. If you're just a person who goes to work every day, this is going to help you with your everyday work. If you're a family person, this is going to help you show up better for your family. This is going to help you. So I want you to just open up the Notes app on your phone and let's get to this, okay? So I'm going to start with the foundation of the whole thing, which is identity. And if you're new to the idea framework, when I'm talking about identity, I'm not just talking about who you are, right? We all have this romantic idea of knowing who we are, right? But I don't believe that knowing who you are is actually the most important thing for you. I believe that far more important than knowing who you are is knowing who you're becoming. Because identity isn't fixed. You know, your personality isn't fixed. We like to think that our personality is just our personality. It's just, it's a fixed thing and that's the way it always stays. But that's actually scientifically not true. Our personality changes over time. If you've ever taken like your Myers-Briggs and then taken it again a bunch of years later, a lot of people see drift in that indicator because our personality actually changes over time. It changes with the different stages and the different things that happen in our lives. So if our personality isn't fixed, then our identity isn't fixed either. Because it's not just about your personality type. It's not just about being an ENFP or an ISTJ or whatever you are. It's not those things that matter. Channel points are enabled. Thank you for the heads up. I appreciate that. It's not just about those things. It is instead about a choice that you're making. And the choice that you're making is the person that you are choosing to become and why that matters. See, identity is not about, it's not about just like your truth, right? We want to talk about our truth. But it's not about that. It's about a very specific set of things. It's about your core values. If you don't know what those core values are, by the way, you're going to have a hard time getting any place in life. There's a difference between your core values, which are the things that are just inherent in you. They're the things that you always go back to. They're the things you would be punished for. They're the things that you would die for. And maybe your aspirational values, things that you would like to believe about yourself, right? But if you don't know what the core values are, if you don't know your values, and if you don't have a vision, if you don't have a picture of that person, that ideal person that you're trying to become, then if you don't have those things, then you're going to have a hard time moving forward at all. And here's the other thing that it's not about, okay? It's not about your past experiences. Now, there is a time and there is a place to deal with your past experiences, and that's a good thing, and I want to encourage you to do that. But here's what I also want to encourage you to do, and that is this. Listen very closely. I want to encourage you to leave your past in the past. Don't treat your past like it's happening right now, because it's not, right? You have the power. You have the ability to determine where you're going. Your past doesn't choose for you. What's important is the person that you're choosing to become and how you're going to get there, right? So your identity is kind of the engine behind why you do what you do. It's not about what you do. It's not about, what's your job or what's your label or what's your indicator or any of those things. It's not about that. Right? We make a mistake when we talk about identities. We have gender identities and we have, I don't know we have all these identities, right? Those aren't identities. Those are just parts of our identity. And when we let all of our identity get wrapped up in one thing, in one label, like our job title or any of those things, then we are going to get into some trouble. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I gotta respond to a text message. I got something blowing up at one of my job sites here. Never fails. Okay, cool. So. When you feel like you're drowning in advice, the first question that I want you to ask is this good advice, right? Because it's all good advice. Of course it's all good advice. Otherwise it wouldn't be out there. Okay, it's not maybe all good advice. But the question I want you to ask is not, is this good advice? The question is, does this advice align with who I'm intentionally becoming? Because without that alignment, without that kind of intentional clarity, then you're just going to absorb everything. You're going to absorb all the tips and all the hacks and the trends and the tactics, and you're going to get a little bit of this from there, a little bit of there, and you're like a sponge, but there's no filter, right? And a sponge with no filter is soggy. It's not a growth item. It's just a soggy, wet sponge. Have you ever been like halfway through a program, or a good example is I did a 30-day challenge at the beginning of this year. I put a challenge out and I had a bunch of people join, and a bunch of people got about halfway through it and then they quit. Have you ever done that? But have you ever done it because you thought, why am I doing this? Why am I even doing this? Because when we quit things like that, when we go into something that we believe is going to grow us and then we just give up on it, it's usually because we haven't connected it to what's really important to us. We haven't connected it to a point of clarity around the person that we're becoming. So if you find yourself doing that, like you can't stick to something, you get into something and then you stop doing it, that is a sign that you have borrowed someone else's clarity. It's a sign that you haven't already figured out your identity, who you are and who you want to be. Because remember, advice isn't bad. It's just not all meant for you. So not every bit of advice, not every tip, not every trick, not every hack, not all of those things are meant for you. So here is my first reflection question. So if you're taking notes, if you're writing things down, if you've got the notes app open on your phone, this is the first thing that I want you to write down. It is this: is the advice I'm following aligned with who I'm actually trying to become? So when I'm watching that video and I'm going to try that 7-day program, or I'm going to jump into that 30-day challenge, is the advice I'm following aligned with who I'm actually trying to become? Or is it just aligned with some kind of better person, right? It's noble to want to become better, but you'll never get there until you know what better looks like. So ask yourself that question, because without that identity component, then every voice sounds like authority. And it's really easy to sound like authority. I should know. Here I am sounding authoritative, right? Hopefully sounding authoritative. I don't know. But it's really easy. I mean, anybody can jump on the internet and make a video. Listen, with AI, anybody can jump in and write an article that sounds like it was written by AI, quite frankly, but that sounds like it's got some kind of authority to it, because it's going to borrow all bits and pieces from all of the people who are out there writing. So every voice can sound like authority if you don't have an identity filter. But when you're anchored in who you're becoming, then what you get to do is you get to say no to all the stuff that doesn't belong, to all the stuff that doesn't move you towards who you want to be. So that's the identity component. Now let's get to the disciplines component. That's the D in the idea framework. And this is where a lot of us fall off. This is where I fall off. We collect advice like they're like Pokemon cards. It was the best thing that I could come up with, right? We do that. We scroll, we save. Be honest with me. How many TikTok videos do you have saved right now? How many Instagram reels do you have favorited and saved, marked for later, right? We scroll, we save, we listen to those podcasts, we read, but we never apply. Right? Right? I feel you. Listen, I'm with you. I'm not different. I'm the same. But we don't apply these things, right? And so it's like, you guys know I go to the gym. It's like going to the gym, and then you go to the gym and you take a tour. You ever do this? You ever join a gym and you go and they give you the tour? So you get a tour and you get to see all the facilities, and then you get the t-shirt. They give you the t-shirt for being a member, and you get that, but then you never get on the treadmill, or you never actually like pick up a dumbbell, right? Because just like most advice isn't bad, it's just not meant for you. When it comes to disciplines, most advice isn't bad. It's just not tested, because we don't test it. And the way that we test advice is through disciplines. This is your filter in action, right? So what do? You try something. You have to try something. And then, important also, you have to track it. Why do we not know what progress we're making? We don't know what progress we're making because we don't track anything. You want to lose weight, but you don't know what your starting weight was. You don't know how many calories you consumed today. You don't know exactly, what your heart rate was. You're not tracking it. You're not tracking your progress. You feel like you're lost? Of course you feel like you're lost. You don't know where you are. There's no compass. So our disciplines become a compass. They become a test, but only when we try things and we track those things. And then when we make a decision, then we're going to keep it or we're going to ditch it, right? And that doesn't have to be a very long period of time. In fact, here's a framework that I want you to use. I want you to do this week. I want you to pick one piece of advice you heard this week. It doesn't matter what it is. In fact, you can go to TikTok right now. Don't go to TikTok right now. Watch the rest of this stream. But you can go to TikTok right now, and you can search up personal development or personal growth. And I challenge you, pick the first video that's in there that gives you some kind of a tip, and then I want you to follow it for 7 days. 7 days between now and next Thursday when we're here again. I want you to follow one piece of advice you heard this week. And every day, here's the kicker. You got to track it. You have to, and tracking it, by the way, it doesn't have to be, I'll use like the weight loss thing. It's not like that. It doesn't have to be like that. It could be every day, jot down how it felt, right? Did it give you energy? Did it bring you joy? Did it cause friction? Did it feel like it didn't fit? Every day, just somehow track it, jot it down. And then at the end of the 7 days, you decide, I'm going to keep it, I'm going to ditch it. And if you're going to keep it, then keep doing it and keep tracking it. And if you're going to ditch it, then just ditch it, right? If I followed the advice, I'd be getting more piercings and tattoos. Okay, I don't know if that qualifies for personal growth, in terms of personal growth. But, I mean, But Emily, you follow your heart on that one, right? I would suggest maybe you choose something that's a little different. That could get expensive fast. Maybe something that's a little bit less expensive. I am aware that what I'm telling you sounds simple. But you know what? You're not doing it. Plain and simple. You're not doing it. You say, "Oh, that sounds too easy." Okay. Prove me wrong. Prove yourself right. Because the bottom line is, and again, I'm not saying I'm holier than thou. I'm saying I know you're not doing it because a lot of the time I'm not doing it. But the areas in my life where I'm making huge strides, those are the areas where I am doing it. And here's why I think that is. See, I think we like the idea of change more than the work of change. Don't you think that? We have a big romantic idea of what change looks like in our lives. But then when it comes down to doing the hard work, and Emily knows this more than anybody else, right? Emily's on a whole health, life transformation right now. And she's made tremendous progress over the course of 6 months, less than 6 months? Huge progress. And why has she done it? I'll tell you what, it's not because she's not paying attention to what she's doing. It's not because she's not tracking the things that are making a difference. It's not because she is not applying the sound advice that she's received. It's not because she doesn't know who she's becoming. It's because she knows that the change requires work, and she is committed to doing the work of change. 4 months. Insane. An insane transformation in 4 months. And listen, you guys, you can do it too. Every one of you can do it. And I get it. I'm crossing over into motivational speaker mode here. But I want you to be motivated by the fact that people do this work every day. And as much as you are a very special snowflake, and I love you, and you're very unique, and you have your own truth and to live out and all of that stuff, you're not different than other people. What worked for Emily works for you. There's no real world where your situation is the first and only situation of its kind. And when I convinced myself that that was the case for myself, I did a lot of stuff that I could never do before, right? Don't get caught in the trap thinking that you have to build some kind of glamorous routine, right? Don't get caught in the idea that it's got to be big, it's got to be flashy, it's got to come with a fireworks show. Doesn't need to be big. What it needs to be is it needs to be consistent, okay? And so this is where I want you to stay with me, because this is the hard part. It's the boring part. It's the part that kind of sucks a little bit. But let me tell you what. It's the part that makes the difference. Because being consistent, showing up on the path that leads you to the person you want to become, that is what will change advice into action. And action is what creates transformation. It's about setting attainable goals instead of the big picture. That's absolutely right. And that's why when I talk about disciplines, I'm not talking about the thing at the end. The thing at the end is great. We should have a thing at the end. We should want something at the end. We should want to get someplace. I want to make $1 million a year and give half of it away. That's my big dream. I haven't talked about that for a while, but that's my big dream. It's just to make $1 million. I mean, I want to make more than $1 million a year, but my big dream is to make $1 million a year so that I can give away half of it. $500,000 every year, give it away to causes that I believe in. The only way I get there is through consistency. The only way I get there is through disciplines. The only way I get there is through one more step every day. The only way I get there is by showing up, to this live stream, even though something's blowing up over here, right? Doesn't have to be glamorous, just has to be consistent. Okay, now it's time for me to hear from you. I want to hear from you, guys. Let me see. Hold on. I want to look and see if there's anybody in the YouTube chat real fast. There's not. Okay, cool. So we don't have to worry about them. All right, so I'm going to drop a link right now, guys. This link is to a poll. I created a poll. And if I could find the link, here it is. It's anonymous. You can be safe. Don't worry about it. Okay. Oh, hey, Kata, welcome in. I'm dropping a link right now. Okay, and I want you to click that link. And I want you to vote in this poll. And the poll is this. It's asking you, hey, Ember, welcome in. Good to see you, my friend. It's asking you this. Which of these describes you right now? Number one is I keep collecting advice, but I never apply it, or I rarely apply it. Number two is I bounce between too many strategies. I'm like, I'm doing this thing that day and that thing that day and the other thing the other day, right? Sorry, give me a second. I'm going to snooze that ad so I can get all the way through this. There we go. Number three is I found what works and I'm sticking to it. And number four is I'm overwhelmed and I don't even know where to start. And I want you to be honest with me, okay? So if number three is you, if you found what works and you're sticking to it, then I want you to celebrate that. I want to hear about it. Right? That's fine. But if you don't know where to start, I want to hear about that too. Right? Because here's the thing. Self-awareness is how we change this game. And I'm going to read these answers out in a second. I'm going to give you a second. But it's really, really important that we know where our starting place is. Drowning in advice. That's true. I have so many friends, people helping me, but I can't apply it daily. We've been talking about that, Pineapple. We've been talking about that a lot. Everybody, hit up a vote in that poll. The link should be there. I'll post it again just in case. Slap that up. Let's see. Right now, it's kind of even, actually. I'm surprised at how even this is. Let's see here. So far, we've got about 33% of the people who say, I keep collecting advice, but I don't apply it. About 33% of the people who are saying, I found what works and I'm sticking to it. And about 33% of the people saying, I'm overwhelmed and I don't know where to start. So first of all, if you found what works and you're sticking to it, super good, right? Super good. Keep with it. Stay consistent. Keep it directed towards your identity. But also remember, sometimes the things that are working today won't be the things that work tomorrow. And that's okay, right? It's okay. We may have to change. We may have to transform. We may have to do a little bit of a dodge, a little bit of a here and there. Oh, I'm overwhelmed. Just took over. So we now have a slightly larger balance on I'm overwhelmed. If you are collecting advice and not applying it, we are talking about that today, right? So you're in the right place. If you missed the first part, go back and watch the replay. It's on YouTube. It'll be here on Twitch. Go back and watch it. You're going to find the answer to that. If you're overwhelmed and you don't know where to start, it's okay. Those are the people that I work with. I mean, I work with all of these people, right? But the people that come to me most often are the people who are like, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck someplace in my job or in my family life or in my whatever, right? Those are the people that come to me as a coach, and those are the people that I help get over that hump, right? So don't feel bad, because that's literally what I do. So there's nothing to be ashamed of there. Emily says, I've found where to start, but I'm always open to more advice. Dude, I love that. It's so good, right? Because if we don't take the posture of a learner, it doesn't matter how good our habits are. At some point, they're going to stop working, like I said, and then we're going to be in trouble because we're not going to know what the next thing is. I love that. You can keep those responses coming in. And by the way, I have pinned the question link. There will be Q&A at the end of this, assuming that I don't burn the whole thing on this. And I always love taking your questions. But thanks for hitting up that poll. That's pretty awesome. Okay, we got through identity. We got through disciplines. Let's talk execution now. If you're new to my framework, I want to explain to you what execution means. It doesn't mean chopping people's heads off. We're not in 14th century France anymore. Execution is this. If discipline is like the road you walk on daily, it's the path, the stepping stones. I have to dip. We'll check the VOD later, taters. All right, man. We'll see you later, Head of Steel. Take it easy, my friend. If discipline is the road that you walk every day, then execution is when the road comes to a fork, or it's when there's like a gap, like a chasm in the road, and you have to jump over it. So execution is not about routine, it's about risk. And the mistake we think is a lot of times people just look for the risk points. They're like, oh, I have to wait for those big moments to come, those big questions, those big decisions, and those are the things that are going to make the difference. But that's not true, right? It's not about execution is not just doing more, but it's about doing bigger. It's about doing harder. It's about learning how to have courage and what that really means. Acting not in out of lack of fear, right? But acting through a sense of purpose, through fear. There are a lot of points in your life where things are going to pivot. And that's scary when things pivot. It's like the ground is moving underneath you. You ever been through an earthquake? I live in California. We go through a lot of earthquakes here. But if you've ever been through an earthquake, the real weird thing is that the ground is not, you're used to the ground being steady, but the ground in an earthquake is not steady. It's moving underneath you. And that becomes really scary, right? But those are the moments where sometimes we have to make those big decisions. If the ground feels like it's moving under you right now, it may not be that you need to stabilize. It may not be that you need to do self-care or self-help or get safe or have a safe place or any of those things, right? It may be that you need to make a leap right now. Because those sometimes are the moments where you make commitments that change the trajectory of your life. But if you don't have your identity locked in and you have your disciplines locked in, then the trajectory that you choose at random is never going to be the trajectory that gets you to where you want to be. So this is kind of where the advice gets real, right? Because at some point, all of this has to stop being theoretical and it has to start being action, right? It has to be something that we do. And you have to decide, am I going to make the jump or am I not? Am I going to make the big change or am I not? Because sometimes we fall in love with our disciplines, and I do. I fall in love with my disciplines. I love them. I love my daily routine. Man, oh man, I love my daily routine. It is the best thing. But guess what? I don't know, 11 days ago, I decided I was going to start writing a new daily publication. It's a devotional publication specifically. And I put out a single, document, article. I put out one post per day. And that post is, it probably take you 5 minutes to read it. So they're short, but it takes me probably an hour at least to write it. And so it totally disrupted my morning routine. My morning rhythm is way off. It's insane. But it was what I had to do because at some point we can't fall so in love with our path, with our disciplines, that we don't make the jump when the jump comes. So your daily disciplines are preparing you, but when it's time to jump, you got to jump. So here's the question for you. This is the question for this section. Where in your life right now are you standing at the edge of a decision and waiting? What is on your plate that you are just waiting for? Maybe it's a conversation that you've been avoiding. Maybe it is a change that you really know you need to make. Maybe something about your health. Maybe just something about your life. Maybe it's a dream that you've wanted to chase. And I'm not a big chase your passions guy. I'm a big chase your purpose guy. That's me. I want you to get into your purpose, and that's driven by your identity, your disciplines, and it happens. It's executed through execution, through the moments of leaps. I want you to get into that, but I want you to know right now, what is the change you need to make? What is the dream that you're holding back from chasing? Because execution only happens when you stop researching and you stop planning, and then you move. And you don't move blindly. It's not a Nike commercial. It's not just do it, okay? Not blindly, but boldly and decisively. Say it with me. Say it with me if you're ready. Today. Just say it today. Put it in chat. If you're ready to make the leap, today. Say today. Because if you're ready to make the leap today, now is it a leap of faith or a calculated leap? That's a good question. Is it a leap of faith or a calculated leap? The answer is yes. It is both a leap of faith and a calculated leap. But let's talk about what faith is for just a second. A lot of people want to believe that faith is blind, that it's blind trust, but that's not the case, right? Back now. Didn't hear about your answer. I'm just getting to it, Emily. I'm circling back because I knew you were in ads. So is it a leap of faith or is it a calculated leap? A leap of faith is not uncalculated. We make this mistake that says, if I am to trust things, I am going to throw out everything else that I have. And I say no. Even faith in God, which is something that I have, right? I'm a believer in a God that created the universe and is active in it. Even faith in God is not uncalculated. It is based on evidence. It is based on the things that I have learned. It is based on the disciplines that I've created, and it is based on the person that I am designed to become. So no leap that is in the direction of the person that you are designed to become is blind. So leap of faith, in terms of I might not have the strength to do it on my own. I might need help. Sure, do it. Leap of faith in terms of I don't know how this is going to end out, but I know that it's the way I'm supposed to be going. Do it. Absolutely. But leap of faith, I woke up this morning and I had a bad sandwich last night, and so I feel like I'm going to, kick my dog. That's not a big decision. But a leap of faith that's driven by a finite emotion, that's the one not to make. What you should be having faith in is you should be having faith in the habits that you've built. You should be having faith in your giftedness, the things that you were born with, the skills that you've created and learned. Those are the things, and again, I believe a higher power of some kind. I believe that people who, and in fact, not only do I believe, I know because it's science-backed fact, that people who have a belief in something that's bigger than them are more successful than people don't. So if you don't believe that there's something outside of you, I love to talk with you about that. I'm not going to try and convert you or anything weird like that, but I would love to know why you think you're all that there is. Because I just don't see that anywhere in the world, that I'm all that there is. I think there's got to be something bigger than me. And at the very least, community is always bigger for me. Whether you believe we were created for it or whether you believe we evolved for it, we are creatures that were made to live in community. So yes, leap of faith and calculated leap. I believe they're the same thing. What you don't want to do is you don't want to make the calculations become the leap. Because when your calculations become the leap, we never make it. Right? When we try to know all of the things in advance, we never make the move. We never do the thing. So do the thing. but do it directionally, right? Because execution is what turns your growth from something that you think about doing into something that you live out doing. So that is the execution component. And finally, we have the accountability component. See, the accountability component is the part that nobody wants. I don't want it. Again, I'm right with you guys. I don't want accountability. When I'm doing badly at stuff, I don't want to be told that because it sucks to be told that. But the thing is, I know I need to be told that. When something stings a little bit, it needs to sting. It's because it's something I need to learn. It's something I need to pick up. So it's the part we don't want, but it's the part we all need. Because we don't, I just talked a second ago about how we need community. And here's the thing, we don't grow in isolation. Nothing grows in isolation. We only grow with others who remind us of who we are. So this is another thing. If the people around you don't know who you are and who you're becoming, the people who are important in your life, they've got to know those things. Because they can't help you get there unless they know what your trajectory is. And they will not know unless you tell them what that trajectory is. And you will not get there without the help of others. So don't think you can do it alone. Don't try and be a superhero. Don't try and be the Lone Ranger. Don't try and be the person who's going to do it all themselves. You need those people. So you tell them who you are trying to become, who you are meant to be. Because we need those other people to remind us of who we are and what we said we were going to do. We need people to do that. And maybe you've gotten by without doing that. I know I have sometimes, and it's made me weak. It's made me weak. I've gotten by from time to time. Just going, you know what? I struggled through that one with willpower, but guess what? Willpower is a very finite resource. You wake up on the wrong side of your bed and your willpower is gone. Absolutely gone. Right? You wake up one day and some tragedy happens in your life, no willpower. Willpower, it does not exist. Willpower is a finite resource. Do not rely on it. Rely on accountability instead. We have to make sure other people are reminding us of who we are and what we said we were going to do. And it's not about shame, right? This is the other thing. I wrote a little bit about this last week. We try and make one of the reasons that people are so turned off from what they call, I would argue it's not about willpower, it's about Andrew power. I'm going to use that. That's going in one of the books, Emily. Oh, am I glitchy for you guys? I'm super glitchy on my screen over here. I hope I'm not. I apologize if I am. I don't know. I don't have control over the, everything looks fine here. But, yeah, so anyway, so one of the things I was writing about this week is about accountability, and I don't want you to get the idea that it is about shame. And this is one of the things that I think turns people off. Hey, Brakeman, welcome in, dude. Good to see you. It turns people off from what they call organized religion, and that's organized religion is a scapegoat, by the way. People who say they don't like organized religion don't like religion, and they should just say it. They should just be honest about it. But they don't, right? Because we have this idea that organized religion is somehow different than religion, and it's not, right? Organized means, you know what an organism is, right? An organism is a group of cells and atoms and molecules and organs and tissues that are arranged in such a way to create a living thing. Organization is that, right? So an organized religion, it's a religion that's made up of people. And so when we start to throw the idea of organized religion out the window, what we're saying is, I don't need people. And that's the same thing I'm coming back to here with the accountability, because one of the benefits of religion, when it's done right, and I hate the word, I even hate the word religion because it's got such a terrible connotation. But one of the reasons that it is so effective in our lives is that at its design, at its core, it is designed not to create shame. It is designed to create progress. So if you go back to the teachings of Jesus, for example, his teachings are not about shaming people. They are about teaching people to become the best version of themselves. And that is who I want you to be also. right? So I want you to find some kind of accountability, whatever it is. But I don't want it to be about shame. I want it to be about shared commitment. Exactly. Thank you. So some kind of shared commitment between you and somebody else. Doesn't matter who. Could be me. Listen, I'll be your accountability partner. Let's go, baby. Let's talk about it. Let's get accountable. Let's do it, right? I can tell you all the stuff I've fallen through on already this year. Let's go. I'm aware of where my failures are, and I will talk openly about them. But the reason I do that is because I learned a long time ago that when I do, and when people hold me to the stuff I say I'm going to do, I get better. And you know what? I should get better. That was what I was built to do. So sometimes it's the text. Did you do it? Right? For me, it's I get a little message from my wife every morning when I finish my workout. Like on Thursdays, she stays at home and she does yoga and strength training at home, and I go to the gym and I lift some weights, and so it's that little text that I get that's like, oh hey, I see you finish your workout. The Apple Watch does this thing where it like you can congratulate people. You're always welcome to hold me accountable. I will always hold you accountable. Absolutely. But this is the thing, right? We always have to invite that in. So I love that Emily does that because we always have to invite accountability in. People can't hold us accountable against our will. It doesn't work, right? That's when that system breaks down. Then we just get defensive and things don't work. So that's exactly the right attitude. You got to hold me accountable, right? I have to invite you in. But yeah, so it's that little text that I get from my wife that's like, hey, 5 stars or whatever it is, right? Whatever dumb little message the Apple Watch decides to send. That's my accountability, right? So, or it could be the person that just asks you, hey, are you still working on that thing? Like, how's that coming? How's that thing you're doing coming to you? So here is the challenge on this one, right? I want you to pick one piece of advice that you've been sitting on. We talked about this earlier. And I want you to decide, am I going to implement it or am I going to let it go? Okay? So this week, do that 7-day test, right? 7 days. Try any piece of advice that you've heard and decide, are you going to, at the end of the 7 days and every day, write down how you feel about it, right? Or how it makes you feel or what your progress is. And at the end of 7 days, you decide that if you're going to implement it or let it go. And if you, and you tell someone about that. So that's the accountability portion. You tell somebody that you're committing to that. And if you need to, you DM me, right? I will hold space for you in this because that's what I do, right? But what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to carry it alone because none of us should have to carry it alone. And if you're out there right now, I see there's more people than normal. Thank you again, Kitty Cat. I see that there's more people than normal who are watching this. So if you're hearing this for the first time, don't scroll past this moment. If you never come back and listen to another thing I said, that's totally fine with me. That's totally cool. You were here at this moment for a reason. And I think that reason is this. Don't scroll past this. Decide. Decide to do something and then say that you're going to do it. Say it out loud. Say it to somebody and then do it. Right? So to kind of wrap all of this up into a neat little package, it is this. In a world where we are drowning in advice, the most powerful thing, the greatest power that you have is your ability to choose. And not just to choose, but then to act. And so, again, if this is the last time we talk, I hope that you hear me say this. Stop waiting for the perfect system. Stop hoarding TikTok videos about how to get better. Stop just collecting quotes that inspire you. Start filtering things. And start filtering things through your identity. Who am I? What matters to me? What am I actually willing to commit to? Because you don't need a guru. You don't even need me, really, at the end of the day. You got plenty of advice. You don't need another advice person. You need a better filter. And that starts with your clarity, and your clarity aligns your identity, disciplines, execution, and accountability. And so if this helped you today, I would love to hear about it. Like I love to hear about it. I know in YouTube we have the comments section, and I never get any comments because YouTube audience is small, and I love the live stuff here. But if any of this stuff helps you, I would love to hear about it. It keeps me going, and when I can share those things with other people, it also gets them going too. And if you want to get deeper into these ideas, you can head over to my Substack. It's right up here. It's andrewburkum.substack.com. I write about this stuff every single week. It's one article a week, so it's not like I'm gonna bombard you with more stuff to read. But I write one article a week. That's not my daily one. That's a different one. I won't advertise that here. But I would love to connect with you guys. And if you're looking for somebody to help you get over a hump, I would love to talk about whether I might be the right person for that. So please, by all means, DM me directly. Shoot me a message. Go on over to Substack. You can DM me there as well. Wherever it is, get a hold of me because I would love to be that person. So, okay. So let's see. We got about 10 minutes left. I'm going to hang out here for a few minutes and take your questions. If you have any, what are you stuck on right now? What is some advice that you're not sure about? Like, you can drop it in the chat. You drop it in the link. The link should be still pinned up above. I would love to hear with that. Let's see if there's any questions that are in the Slido. There are not that I can see. So yeah, so I'll hang out for a minute here. If anybody comes up with any questions, by all means, toss them in there. And and there goes the link too. It just popped up, and I will be glad to answer them. If not, then we will head on out. Because I got problems to solve someplace. Things are blowing up. We'll talk about that another time, about what happens when you can't walk away from something without it blowing up. Because if you can't walk away from something without blowing up, or if you don't have the trust, there are things going off. If you don't have the trust in the structures in your life that they won't survive your absence, then something's built wrong. So that's another thing that we'll talk about. I'm just going to check this one more time. Needed to hear this. I'm glad you needed to hear this. I hope it's of some use to you, some small use at all to you. But thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. And again, Kitty Cat, thank you for the raid. Big Preach, of course. Thank you guys. Thank you all for showing up today. And please, I do not want you to forget. If you take one thing away, just remember that clarity in your life does not come from consuming more. It comes from committing to less, but executing the things that matter. So I just ended a friendship that was toxic. That's right. I forgot that you had mentioned that. Oh man, I am sorry to hear about that, Kata. Sign to me to let it go. Well, good. You know what? Then let it go in confidence, right? Because if it's something that wasn't moving you towards the person that you needed to be, then it is time to let it go. If you've done everything you can do, if there's nothing else that you can do from your end, then you must no longer bear the burden of that relationship. Remember, Erwin McManus, right? Erwin McManus, Mind Shift. Mind Shift number 1, it's all about people, but Mind Shift number 3 is you can't take everyone with you. Some people are ready to move with us to the next stage of growth, and some people want to hold us back. And we can't keep the people who try and hold us back. I was going to message her and tell her off for telling me something awful, and then she's ignored me for 4 days. Yeah. Had to accept there will be no ending. Yeah, sometimes, you know what? Sometimes we don't get closure on things. And so we have to create closure, and the way that we create closure is by knowing the path that we're on, right? And there are wounds that we're going to carry with us all the way to the end, but those wounds are a part of the journey that shape us into the people that we need to become. Because at some point, you may need to care for somebody who has that same wound. So I'm not saying I'll never be the one to say, oh, God puts terrible things in your life so you can grow through them. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I will say is one of the reasons that we face hardship is because we grow through it. Because it's not meant to be easy. So, all right, guys. Well, then I will head on out. Thank you again for being here today. She accused me of ignoring my kids for video games, and it hurt because she was supposed to be like a sister to me today. Yeah, it sounds, Kata, so what I'm hearing from that, right, is it sounds like maybe she needed somebody she needs somebody to take down a little bit of a peg, right? Sometimes we have people who are in that spot where maybe they're feeling badly about themselves or they're uncomfortable about their own situation. And sometimes the way we soothe that, the behavior we use to soothe that, is by putting somebody else in the hot seat. And so that may have been what it was. And I always try and think, I always try and keep just a little bit of, I used to get really mad about that stuff. And now I feel bad about it. And I don't feel bad about it because I feel bad about the accusations, but I feel bad about it because I feel bad for the person who's leveling the accusations. Because if they're picking at something in my life that's not a part of their story, then it means that there's something in their story that's so bad that they're avoiding it, right? And so George says, I was in that situation once. This friend got mad at me for telling her about a toxic relationship in her life. She said it was replaceable, so I said, bye, Felicia. She eventually regretted it and stood my ground because I'll never forget that, so I feel you. Yeah, not everybody is ready to go on the journey with us, and that's okay, right? They have their own journey. We have our own journey. The people we want to surround ourselves with are the people who help us grow. So I hope that for you. And we can continue this at any... Oh, she's done some bad things as a mom due to her alcoholism, so I was just taken aback. She only said it because I told her she didn't know me well when she kept getting info wrong, even those who have been friends since freshman year of high school. Yeah, people don't like to be told that they don't know us well. I've encountered this as well. And I think that people get really defensive when we tell them that they don't know us. And sometimes that causes them to lash out. And it sounds like there's a combination in that person's life between them not having a handle on who they need to be and then them being defensive because they thought they could categorize you in a way that they couldn't categorize you. Today I blocked her and realized she's always been this way to me. It was just time to finally be done. I'm so glad you're at peace about it. That's so good. I'm so glad to hear that. That's good. So set your course, set your direction, and let's get going, right? Let's get going. All right, my friends, listen, I'm going to head out. Go be intentional. Go be real. Go be present. And most of all, go be great. I love you guys. I'll talk to you next time.
I've been caught in the whispers, lost in my doubts, tangled in stories I can't live without. But there's a fire, it's burning inside, calling me forward, I can't run and hide. It's not about perfection, it's about the climb, breaking through the limits, one step at a time. With every breath, I'm closer to the dream, a life that's bold, a heart that gleams. Be great, stand tall, rise above it all. Let your light shine through, answer the call. There's power in you, don't hesitate. This is your moment, go on, be great. The mirror's reflection, it shows who I am. But it's just the beginning, not the end of the plan. Through trials and heartache, I've learned how to fight, to shape my tomorrow. I start with tonight. It's not about the shadows, it's about the flame, fueling the courage to rewrite the game. Every step forward, I leave fear behind. Greatness is waiting, it's yours and it's mine. Be great, stand tall, rise above it all. Let your light shine through, answer the call. There's power in you, not just the end, a story that begins again. I'll build it, I'll create a life that resonates. Be great, stand tall, rise above it all. Let your light shine through, answer the call. There's power in you, don't hesitate. This is your moment, go on, be great. This is your story, it's time to ignite a life of intention, a future so bright. The world is waiting, don't let it wait. Step into your greatness, it's time.